India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, we share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. Our program follows the life of foreigners in our country. This is true stories told by representatives of many nations living and developing in Kazakhstan, and for whom our country has become home. Over 150,000 ethnic Germans live in the territory of Kazakhstan. Many of them have found their second home in our country and imagine their future life only in Kazakhstan. Our today's hero, Kahl, has been living in Kazakhstan not for a long time, but he has been already working on development of international collaboration at Almaty Management University. Our today's hero was born in the city of Graz. Christian was a very active child. He went in for sports and liked reading books as well. Aware of the importance of education, he took a decision to leave Germany for gaining an international experience. And soon, fate brought him to Kazakhstan.
The education system in Kazakhstan is amazing. I mean, the university system is well developed, the courses are international standards, the lectures and the knowledge is nearly on the top. I mean, Kazakhstan really can compete worldwide, and that I think will be the future, that Kazakhstan will be one of the leading education systems and countries in the world. And I'm more than happy and proud to be part of it at the moment.
Christian, thank you so much for coming to our program and taking part in our program. The first question for you is, can you please talk about your family and about the place where you were born?
That's a big question. I mean, it's like, as you figured out on my accent, I'm from Germany. And I'm born and grew up in a small city in the middle of the valley, and around you have hills with forest and green areas. I mean, it was amazing. So school time couldn't finish fast enough because, as you know, in Germany, school is only half day. So in the afternoon you spend a lot of time in the nature with your friends, playing football, going to forest, riding bicycle around. I mean, you couldn't get enough of the nature. My brother didn't choose to do too much study, so he followed his passion about cooking. So he became a chef and working in a quite nice restaurant in the moment. Yeah, my parents, I mean, shortly before retirement, but my mother is working in a hospital as a professional nurse. Yeah, my father is working for the government and doing government projects. So yeah, I mean, that's the childhood and the school time. I mean, later on, I mean, the big decision came, what do you do with your life? So I chose to join the university in Jena, which is one of the 3 oldest and established universities in Germany. And my parents asked me the same question, like, what do you want to study? And I chose education science, sociology and psychology, because I'm really interested to understand how people progress in their life. I mean, how people learn, what is the right way for learning and so on. Yeah, so I got it through with my master's and with my PhD as well in the same area. And then it was time for leaving the country, because one thing is to understand theory, but another place is to actually figure out how the practice works. And so I moved to China and I joined the first university system, which is a Chinese university for teaching their languages. Afterwards I joined Switzerland Hospitality College, which is quite famous in Switzerland. It's #1 ranked in Switzerland and #4 ranked in worldwide. And besides teaching, I was in charge for the teaching quality insurance. So I was looking about teacher training, teaching hire process, students development and so on. After a few years in China, we moved to Malaysia again for job purposes, and I joined Taylor's University in Malaysia, which was again an amazing experience for me because I got the chance for doing all three things I want to do. One thing is like teaching and learning to understand more, give trainings, developing programs. Another part is like teaching itself, because I found a lot of fun to staying in class and giving knowledge forward to students. And the third one is to managing projects, work, people and so on.
I know that you're married. Can you please tell more about your wife?
And I met her actually in England when I had been there for exchange program, and probably we can say love of the first eye sign. And she's actually from China, and yeah, so we met, we never let go and got married. Now it's already for 14 years. 2.5 months ago we moved to Kazakhstan, where I joined AMAU, and my wife is still doing her business. She is a professional in online marketing and e-commerce. So in the moment she actually running 3 companies, one Chinese company, one Indian company and her own company on digital gadgets and so on. I mean, you can't ask me for details because I have no idea what she's doing. But I mean, she's doing an amazing job, and the good thing about digital marketing is you can do your job everywhere where you want. So I mean, she just needs a computer and a place for doing so.
Christian's first acquaintance with Kazakhstan took place in Malaysia, since there were some Kazakhs among his students. Thus, as soon as he received a job offer from the Almaty Management University, Christian accepted it without a second thought. So Christian, the first question for you. When was the first time that you arrived to Kazakhstan, and what were your first impressions about this country?
My first time is actually not so long time ago. I mean, I arrived here like 2.5 months ago, and I found this country really amazing. I mean, it's so much different but so much similar at the same time. I mean, it's Central Asia, so you're expecting something completely different. But when you're coming here, I mean, you're going around, you're meeting people, and you're talking with people, or you're going in shops for finding food or clothes and so on, you're feeling really like in Europe. I mean, it's amazing. It's like to see so many similar things in a completely different world. So another experience which I had is, and I'm still fascinated about it, is that Kazakhstan people are really friendly. I mean, it's like you get invited and people treat you like a family member. I mean, if you're going in other parts of the world, like US or something, you're getting treated like a stranger and that's it. I mean, you're somebody and that's it. But in Kazakhstan, I mean, you're quite welcome with open arms, and people invite you for big feasts and welcoming Asian culture. I mean, it's like a really family-driven culture, so grandparents, parents and kids. So I mean, this kind of like staying together, walking together, supporting each other. It's something completely different to Western cultures, where families are more nuclear, which means just your relative and that's it, or maybe your kids. But here it's completely opposite. Where, I mean, you can see when you go shopping, you have family feasts where parents, grandparents and kids going out and enjoying the day. I mean, it's just so much different to Europe. I had been here for a really short time at the New Year's time, the Kazakh New Year time, Nowruz, and it's like every day I was invited. I mean, I flew back to Malaysia, probably 10 kg extra weight on me. That's really amazing, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, another thing is, it's not about Kazakhstan, probably more Almaty. I mean, it's just incredible. You take a car or a bicycle and in half an hour you're in the middle of the mountains. You can go climbing, you can see the nature. For me, it's kind of an old dream, back to the future, I would really say. Because, I mean, I grew up in a really small city with a lot of nature, and the last 12, 13 years I lived in huge cities like Shanghai or KL. And there was no any nature, and coming back to here and see just nature in front of your doorstep, it's an amazing experience.
Can you tell us please about your work that you do at the AMAU University?
My work is a little bit difficult to explain, but my position is a Vice Rector for Research and Internationalization. And yeah, as the title says, I'm responsible for two different directions. One is to enhance research, which is quite a new field for Kazakhstan, I would say. I mean, besides some universities who are already doing it, a lot of universities are quite new in it. So it means how to do your research, how to write it down, how to publishing it in the right journals. And I mean, I know that Kazakh and Russian are the traditional languages here, but unfortunately the research understanding in the world is going on in English language, which of course is painful for me too, because English is not my first language. But in this kind of case, I have to look in it and how to think about it, and how, not only how, but as well helps the university developing it the right English direction of research structure. And another one is like MIU is already quite well international connected, but at the same time international connected has different meanings. So here I'm looking into it, who are the right partners, how we can more deeply connecting with international partners. We have, for example, a cooperation with Hong Kong Polytech University, which is one of the leading universities in Asia. I mean, we have a cooperation, but the question here is like how we can enhance it with exchange programs, with knowledge exchange, with research projects together and so on. So I mean, that's the second role which I have here in the university.
And what do you think about the educational system here in Kazakhstan and the system that implements the LMU?
It's a really good question, and I can't answer you because today education is global, so there is so much difference. It's just what you're doing out of it. I mean, MIU has an incredible understanding of entrepreneur education, and which is really helpful for a business-driven university, where you try to help your students to understand real-life scenarios and actually train and teach them for getting there. So that's what I really like on the entrepreneurship. But again, the understanding is like you're doing in a small circle in Kazakhstan or probably in Central Asia, but how to connect in the global understanding in the global world is a completely different question. And here, I mean, MIU and I, we're looking in the directions like how we actually can connecting with entrepreneurship universities in US, in UK, in Europe, on Asia, and creating a worldwide connection and a worldwide cooperation in this kind of direction.
Our hero devotes his spare time to his family. Still, Christian is keen on hiking in Almaty Mountains. Also, he is about to continue going in for his favorite sport, swimming. What are your plans for the future in Kazakhstan?
I'm really looking positive for the future in Kazakhstan. It's a beautiful country, really nice people. The work is hard but fun. So I mean, definitely I plan for staying longer here. But I believe I never will leave the higher education sector because I really like university, I really like teaching students, managing projects, in this kind of case managing departments. It's just an amazing experience, and that's what I really like to do. And yeah, in Kazakhstan, at the moment, I believe is the right place for doing it. I know that 2.5 months are not a long time for discovering the whole country, finding all the secrets. But I believe in a few years' time, I definitely can give you all the answers you ask me, more in detail, can explain you more about my experience in this country, and then we can meet again.
Our hero, Christian Kahl, continues to study the Eastern world, learning of which he started from China. And currently, he successfully applies his rich international experience to the education sphere in our country.